Mask policies in Denver suburbs are a confusing mix of shifting standards and political pressure by parents and elected officials. This is happening because Tri-County Health ordered masks, but then let counties opt out and let school districts opt back in if their counties opted out. It's a mess just talking about it. Tri-County Health's board has now scheduled a reconsideration of its mask mandate and opt-outs on Monday. I asked a spokesperson tonight if Tri-County is considering removing the opt-outs and just flat out requiring masks in schools. Spokesperson said she didn't know. We'd find out Monday. So take the case of one school district. 27J is dropping its student mask mandate that had been in place for all of 5 school days. Also today, the school district reported 2 of its classrooms are going remote due to outbreaks, and that the district expects significant teacher and support staff shortages due to COVID cases and open jobs. The district in Brighton is warning it may impact its ability to keep its now mask mandate-free schools open. 27J started the school year without a mask order, added it starting on Monday, and is now dropping it because county commissioners opted out. So all of this is happening in schools as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations in Colorado are clearly surging. We're in way worse shape now than we were this time last year, although where we are is still quite manageable from a hospital standpoint. More than 700 COVID patients are in Colorado's hospitals with COVID. 705 people. It's up 23 patients in a day. A year ago, we had 131 COVID patients as we headed for a big November-December surge. Our healthcare workers are again bearing the burden, this time around due to people's choice not to get vaccinated. Those people that we called heroes are still on what we once called the front lines, but this year they told our Mark Salinger they're running on empty.
Life outside a hospital looks relatively normal these days. Inside, it's different.
It's worse than 2020 because 2021, we're depleted. We're empty.
Katie Stencil goes to work every day to treat the sickest patients as a nurse at North Colorado Medical Center in Greeley. For the past year and a half, most of those people in her ICU have had COVID.
Emotionally, I think a lot of us have had to step back and get some counseling, take some time off, take care of ourselves for a little while before we have to do this all over again.
During the first wave of the pandemic, Katie wrote a letter to the people she treated who didn't make it. I've seen things over these months that I will never be able to take back, she wrote. She hoped the vaccine would bring an end to COVID patients coming through her doors.
I think all of us as ICU nurses have gotten to that point of despair where you just feel like, what else can we do? We take on that responsibility and feel like we're not doing enough.
After a calm summer, the hospital is filling up again with COVID patients. Gone now are the howls at sunset, the car parades outside the hospital windows.
Yeah, that's gone.
And the public calling her a hero every day.
It feels frustrating because we feel left behind. You know, we still show up every day. It doesn't matter if people are clapping for us or telling us thank you. We're going to do our jobs because that's what we do. But at the same time, it's almost like we're on our own now.
Yet Katie and every other hero that's emerged through this pandemic will continue to fight.
COVID's hard and COVID has taken a lot of lives, but we are still going to do what we do every single day to prevent that.
For Next, I'm Mark Salinger.
Katie told Mark that the vast majority of COVID patients she treats are not vaccinated. She says nearly all who survive tell her they regret not getting the vaccine. Almost 60% of Denver City employees have provided proof of their COVID vaccinations to the city, about a month ahead of the deadline for city employees to get vaccinated. The city attorney told Next today that they're pleased with that progress, reiterated that they're not looking to fire people over this, but they said there will be consequences. Republicans and Democrats in Colorado's congressional delegation seem to be coalescing around the idea that American troops need to stay in Kabul until every American is evacuated from Afghanistan and our Afghan allies get out too. Democratic Congressman Jason Crows led the way on this. You've seen him here taking our questions. Republican Congressman Ken Buck is now out publicly agreeing with Crow on this. Congressman Crow serves on the House Intel Committee. He told us he has not seen evidence of a specific intelligence failure. Democratic Senator Michael Bennet serves on Senate Intel. Bennett's staff told us Wednesday, Thursday, and again today that the senator did not have time to take our questions about Afghanistan. Senator Bennett doesn't have a history of dodging questions. This would be a particularly poor time for him to start doing that. We will keep asking daily, and hopefully the senator will find time in his schedule to fire up a Zoom call and answer some questions about the crisis in Afghanistan. RTD is getting millions more taxpayer dollars from the federal government, $304 million in American Rescue Plan funds. So you know RTD was in rough financial shape before the pandemic, and then ridership went off a cliff. The federal funding for RTD is meant to pay employees and to sustain their basic service until ridership hopefully returns to normal. It wasn't so much a debate, but a discussion at CU Boulder about who there is considered an underrepresented minority. The university's diversity, equity, and inclusion portion of their strategic plan did not consider Asian American students as underrepresented. An Asian American professor stepped forward to disagree with that, and she told our Victoria De Leon she was pleased with the university's response.
On a campus with more than 30,000 students, representation matters. Dr. Jennifer Ho takes those two words to heart.
Yeah, I think representation definitely matters.
That led our conversation to the importance of better data and representation for AAPI students.
Because it's complicated. The position of Asian Americans in higher education is very complex.
Dr. Ho says as a whole, Asian Americans do not have an achievement gap in education the way that Black, Latino, and Indigenous students do. But again, better data could help tell a complete story.
Cambodian, Vietnamese, Laotian, Burmese, Hmong. Those are some of the lowest high school graduation rates, some of the lowest English literacy rates, some of the lowest college matriculation rates by percentage of population.
Inclusion also matters in the university's diversity section of their strategic plan. For CU Boulder, that only included Hispanic, Black, and American Indian students and staff as underrepresented populations.
This is a problem. It is a problem that Asian people are not included in Pillar 3.
That's until Dr. Ho said something and got a reassuring response from the university president.
I was fully expecting to hear him say, yes, but. And instead he said, yes, and. And that and, like, yes, and, what could we be doing?
Two powerful words followed by meaningful action.
He emailed me on a Wednesday. We had a conversation on Thursday night.
Couldn't make Dr. Ho prouder.
Yeah, I was very pleased.
To bring her voice here. For Next, I'm Victoria De Leon.
The university president, Todd Salomon, sent a statement saying that Dr. Ho provided important feedback to their plan. It'll help them change their plan to better support AAPI students. Your Word of Thanks microgiving campaign this week is supporting parents who are struggling through a heartbreaking loss by offering them a free service that they might not have even considered, especially in the fog of grief. Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep is a longtime nonprofit based out of Littleton that trains and dispatches professional photographers to go into hospitals to provide those parents with family photos taken in the few moments that they have with their child after that baby is not born alive or dies soon after. Families describe these photos as a life-changing gift. Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep is expanding its work. It's now nationwide, but it does a ton of work in Colorado. And this week you've donated nearly $20,000 since Wednesday. Text thanks to 303-871-1491. I'll send you that link to join me in donating. A viewer, wrote in and said that this nonprofit and its work filled a hole in their family photo album and a hole in her heart. It's a beautiful gift for parents dealing with unimaginable loss. Together, we'll help them reach more families. Thank you.
The Continental Divide Trail runs 3,100 miles. It's 14 miles in Colorado that's really a problem.
My good news is just gratitude and just being grateful for life itself.
It's the part of Friday that we look forward to every week. And the Paralympics are happening. A number of you have asked why you are not seeing more of those games. That's a fair question. It brings us back to something we love from the Olympics. Next.
Mile High will be at full capacity for the Broncos preseason game tomorrow, with masks on the honor system. Unvaccinated fans are supposed to be wearing one. There are some NFL stadiums mandating masks, or in the case of the Raiders, mandating vaccines. Honestly, the most visible sign of the pandemic at the Broncos game this weekend is probably going to be at the concession stand. Staffing issues have the Broncos limiting the number of menu items. They're hoping to cut down on fans' waiting times. Reminder, stadium is now cashless. There are reverse ATMs available, fee-free, if anybody comes with cash and needs to put that on a card to use. The Continental Divide Trail runs 3,100 miles from Mexico to Canada, cuts right through Colorado. And if we're being honest, some parts of it are better maintained and scenic than others. Colorado's Democratic Congressman Joe Neguse is pushing a bill to make it more of a priority for federal agencies, basically a nudge to the Forest Service, Department of Agriculture, Department of the Interior. The Continental Divide Trail Coalition says this bill would create an opportunity to go in and fix certain parts of the trail, like one high priority section near Steamboat Springs.
The highest priority completion project we have along the entire CDT is actually Muddy Pass, which is just north of Steamboat Springs. And it's the most dangerous road walk that we have along the entire CDT. It's 14 miles along Highway 14, and it puts basically any kind of recreational user that is using the CDT on a high-speed two-lane highway. And that is the last remaining private land section that we need to acquire.
Now, the act doesn't give the government money or power to buy the private land. That ability has been around for years. Coalition says what they think this would do is create a more focused team dedicated to obtaining that land and then making those trail adjustments.
It's Friday. Congratulations. You made it through the week. Wonderful air quality, but things will be changing with the arrival of smoke and haze over northwestern Colorado, southeastern Wyoming, and northeastern Colorado on Saturday afternoon. Highs in the mid-90s today. One more warm day ahead of a cool front, which will bring temperatures down into the 80s on Sunday. Tracking a few thunderstorms over southern Colorado and, of course, that major hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. Ida is headed for New Orleans. Hurricane warnings posted. The storm could make landfall as a Cat 4 hurricane Sunday into Monday. Thunder showers will move out tonight with clearing skies, lots of sunshine tomorrow, and a good-looking day. Our Broncos take the field tomorrow night for the football game. It should be dry and mild. Partly cloudy and 60 tonight. Tomorrow's high at 91. Cooler with a high of 85 on Sunday, and then record heat to kick off next week.
We are getting some feedback tonight about coverage of the Tokyo Paralympics, or lack thereof. Janet, Gina, Lisa all emailed in asking why it's been so hard to catch coverage of the Paralympics, which are going on now through September 5th. You are all absolutely correct that NBC News' coverage of the Paralympics is nothing like its coverage of the Olympics. Now, when we tell you about Colorado's Paralympians, we're always hoping to find an opportunity where there's a star athlete and an event that you are able to watch live somewhere if you want. We often strike out in these attempts. Elizabeth Marks has lived and trained in Colorado Springs for almost 10 years now. The swimmer won a silver medal in the 50-meter freestyle. She also has gold and bronze medals from the Rio Paralympics, medals that she's trying to defend in Tokyo. If Marks makes it to the finals of the 100-meter breaststroke and 200-meter individual medley, then her competitions will be streaming on NBCOlympics.com, 2 o'clock in the morning. Listen, it's the same time schedule as the Olympics. You can also stream her Paralympics highlights starting at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Also, if you caught Next at night during the Olympics, you know that in addition to Team USA, we were rooting for another nation too. One of the world's toughest Olympics underdogs, Liberia, fights long odds just to field Olympic teams year after year and to fund their travel. And wouldn't you know, they have 2 Paralympians competing. Didn't think we'd do this again, but cue up that Liberian national anthem. Hail, Liberia, hail. I think we paid for the rights to the music, and we can use it as much as we want. So this proves to our boss we are getting our money's worth. Liberia's 2 Paralympians, Patience Johnson and Thomas Mulba, both compete in the javelin throw. Mulba competes in the men's javelin throw early tomorrow morning.
Good news, it's Friday.
My good news is just hanging around the neighborhood. The weather's great, and I'm looking forward to the weekend.
You want some pure joy to end the week? Do what we do. Just ask someone. What is the good news in your life these days? That's next. Day with decent air quality in the metro area, a weekend dead ahead, a whole lot of live music along South Broadway in Denver. It just sounds like the makings of your good news, which you share with us every Friday for 261 Fridays now.
Check, 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 check. Yeah.
You know, the good news is live music is back on Broadway and the UMS is back. And we've been here for 20 years and we weren't here last year. So we are beside ourselves and we're ready. We are so ready.
My good news is just gratitude and just being grateful for life itself and how delicate and how meaningful it is.
My good news is I am 2 classes away from graduating with my bachelor's in health and human services.
My good news is that we're playing our first show since fall of 2019 today.
Yeah! Woo!
Check, 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 check.
My good news is I'm back on the road. We're able to travel again and we're able to play music for people, and that is amazing to me.
My good news is kids in Denver in foster care are getting art supplies this weekend.
Ooh, yeah.
A lot of kids in foster care, they're having a tough time, and a little bit of creativity and art can go a long way to brighten up their mental wellness and feel happier.
My good news is just hanging around the neighborhood. The weather's great, and looking forward to the weekend. Hanging out with my neighbor here.
My good news is that I'm here to see yet another day. I'm just blessed and I'm thankful to God for every day that I'm allowed to see.
My good news is that live music is back and Denver is ready to rock.
It's all over, time in the morning. That's good.
Photojournalist Tom Cole getting us our dose of joy. He also gets us our dose of drone shots that you'll see frequently featured here on Next. The Underground Music Showcase runs today through Sunday. Proof of a COVID vaccination or a negative test is required, which, in my view, is good news in and of itself. There is a map of beautiful color in the city. You're welcome to add to it if you see something that's not there. That and your feedback next. The Rhino Art District has murals, lots of murals, and now there is a map to help anybody who would like to meander amongst said murals. The map lives on the River North Art District website. Each mural is numbered, so people can click there and then learn about the current piece of art that they're staring at, along with the installations that came before it. People can also search by artist if they're looking for someone or something specific.
The Rhino Art District has been hubbed as one of the greatest places in Denver for murals, and we have over 300 of them just within the district, and they are ever rotating. So to be able to create this map has been a huge job.
Alexandria with the Rhino Arts District says if you're using the map and you find a mural that's not on it, give them a hand. Send a high-resolution photo and they will add it to the map and their list. John in Arvada writes in tonight to say, I'd like to know why people who support the mask mandates seem to be silent. John, I think we hear from nurses and doctors and public health professionals all the time who support the mask mandates and can explain the science behind them. Yes, the people who are opposed to masks are very loud and very chaotic right now. That's their strategy. Makes it look like there's more of them.